Hi, I'm Drew. I am American, but I was born in Philippines, and then I moved to America when I was about 8 years old or so. And I grew up in Michigan, on the Midwest part of America, and then I went to uni in San Francisco, and then after uni, I moved down to Los Angeles, lived there for a few years, and then I moved to England 16 years ago, just on a whim. Very typical of me. I basically am in a helping profession. I've been doing that for about 19 years now. In terms of London, I lived in London for 11 years. Amazing city, full of diversity, lots of things to do. I also traveled a lot my first couple of years. And then after 11 years, I moved down to Brighton by the sea, just an hour south of London. And I've been there for about 3 years. And I came to the point where I was tired of moving and renting. I lived in 14 flats in 14 years, which is a lot of moving. And so I basically decided to buy a boat uh, to to live in, and I've been doing that for about a year and a half now. And then, which I really really enjoy, to be near by the sea, near by the cliffs, and there's a bike path. I could go kayaking in the sea when I want to, and I have at the moment a 15-week old puppy named Lexi and two cats, Reggie and Miko, short for Mikolas, which is Michael in Lithuanian, because Miko's mom is from Lithuania. So that's a bit of who I am. Off grid living is about simplifying your life, my life, so that I guess, demanding less from, from the outside world, so to speak. And what that means to me is that in terms of like resources, I'm actually going to be relying on solar power as opposed to electricity to, to charge my phone, to charge my laptop. Also, instead of going to big supermarkets to buy prepackaged food, I would actually support the local community and local farm shops, and actually buy food that are local, to where I'm at, and also have food that's organic. Off grid living to me as well means nature, and I like I said, I grew up with nature, so off grid living allows me to be around nature more, as opposed to living in a flat or even living on a boat, where the boat you can't easily move around in, as opposed to a motorhome or camper van. And so for me, off grid living um, will allow me to be able to recharge, to get out to nature and actually recharge my batteries and have a sense of peace at the end of the day. And when I moved to England, I took up rock climbing about 7 years ago. And rock climbing involves traveling to the coast, to the mountains, and some of my fellow climbers have converted vans, which allows them to not only bring their climbing kit, but also have accommodation, and they don't have to look for accommodation. It just allowed them, I guess, the flexibility and the mobility to be able to go wherever to climb. And it was that sense of freedom that really, really resonated with me. I think I've always wanted to be able to do that, and I'm at the point of my life where I feel fortunate that I can buy, purchase a van, in this case, a motorhome, and be able to live, to work, and to pursue my hobbies, such as climbing. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Yes, who is Frannie? Frannie is the name of the camper van stroke motorhome that me and my really, really good friend Hillary collected from rugby yesterday. Again, it's one of those things. It was this time buying Frannie was less of an impulse as opposed to moving from America to England. uh, I believe with COVID and the lockdown, it really gave me time to think about life and what I want to do short and long term. And since I've lived on the boat for a year, for 18 months, I've learned to even live happily in a smaller space. And there's really nothing that I've gave up in terms of living on a boat, because actually there's outdoor space. I still can cook. I still have a microwave. It even has a massive 50-inch TV. But I was really, really thinking about living off grid, because I'm the type of person that like and enjoy my freedom, and I love to be able to just travel and go places. And I actually, since I grew up in Michigan, I grew up with nature around me, acres and acres of just fields and woods just to play and run about. And so I started looking into getting a camper van, and so I saw Frannie, and the layout inside was really, really good. I really needed a table because I need to be able to do my work, which is important, and I also need to be able to cook. So there's a 2-burner hob, and there's a massive double bedroom up above, and there's a bunk bed. So there's plenty of space. In terms of Frannie, I wanted to give the motorhome a name, and name is important to me. I want it to have some significance. So Frannie means strength, and I did take a vote with my mates between Frannie and Mary, and Frannie won by close. It was a close voting, 13-11. But that's who Frannie is, and hopefully in the next videos I could give you a tour of Frannie, both inside and outside of Frannie. So my future plans in terms of living on a van, I guess what's important to me is just meeting people and hearing different stories, life stories. Is something that for me, it's a huge part of who I am, because I was born in the Philippines. I grew up in the Midwest in Michigan, went to uni in San Francisco, lived in Los Angeles, lived in London, and then now I'm living in Brighton, and I've been exposed to different cities and countries and different kinds of people, and I find it beautiful just listening and hearing people's stories of their home country and why they emigrated or immigrated, and it's just, I find it really, really, I guess, fascinating, and it's beautiful listening to people's stories. So one of my hopes is to actually, as I travel around England and Scotland and Wales and possibly Ireland, I hope to meet everyday people and listen to their stories, and that's what I would like to do. And what one of my hopes would be to actually do like 10-minute video snippets and be able to share that with you, and hopefully some of the stories um, that are from the heart will resonate, and you'll be able to relate. My hope is that the channel will actually be uplifting, because as we know, the world as it is now is just, there's so much going on, and with the latest bit of coronavirus, it has really, really, I think, shaken the foundation of people's security, and we have then been left with having um, to review, and think about and reflect, what is it that's important to us. And for me, I think, and for most people, relationships is what's important, uh, and that's what's essential, I think. And so I'm hoping that the channel will continue to remind people the importance of relationship, as one race, one human race, and to be able to connect. So that's my hope, for my travels with Frannie, and with my dog Lexi, who you'll see in future videos. So yeah, I look forward to really reaching out, but also connecting with people from all over. So